Welcome to Crafty Hints. I'm Chantel. If you're new here, I want to give you a special welcome and let's get to DIY 1. With my summer theme, I started out with these lemon napkins from the Dollar Tree. If you open them up all the way, they are a nice lemon slice. So I opened it up, but I did see that they are a little bit uneven. Even with me trimming them down, they'll be a little bit uneven, but I wanted the white of this wood round to show instead of little bits of the napkin. So I trimmed that off. I took one of the 12-inch wood rounds that they have at the Dollar Tree and painted that with chalk paint and plaster. Now I'm just separating the back of this napkin. They have a couple of layers and you just want that thin, pretty top layer. And then smooth it out just a little bit. Now these signs have a hanger on it, so I used a little bit of spackle to fill in the holes. I chose spackle this time instead of wood filler because I'd already painted it. Now I'm using some dishwasher safe Mod Podge. The reason I'm doing this is this will be a tray. You really won't want to put anything on it for 28 days. Now it does say it's dishwasher safe. Of course, I'm not going to pop this in the dishwasher. It's wood. But this way, if something drips on it, I'll be able to wipe it off. So I chose this type of Mod Podge. And I just went over the top. I didn't do a coat underneath and on the top. I just went over that. And I wanted just a little bit of it to crinkle up just a little bit. Kind of like, you know, a lemon has just a little bit of texture to it and the little ripple cells of the lemon. So I was happy with that. Now I'm taking some of this Waverly Maize Chalk Paint and I'm going around the edge to make the lemon peel. I started with just a real small one and then kind of feather it in just a little bit. And again, you can make this your own. You could make this just as wide as you want. You could leave that yellow band on there and then just paint a little bit more if you wanted. But it was just short of the edge, so I thought that this was the best way to go. The plaster underneath also was nice underneath the napkin, you know, making sure that those parts of this lemon slice show. And just keep going around until, like I said, you get it the way you want. And then after it was dry, I put another coat of Mod Podge over this. So a couple coats of it. Now I'm using some Gorilla Glue and I grabbed a couple of the little tiny wood blocks. They're, I think, about an inch. And I painted those in the yellow also. And I used a Gorilla Wood Glue and a dot of hot glue. And I did 5 in total. You could definitely do more if you'd like. Or, you know, if you don't want this to be a little bit of a riser, you don't have to do that either. Isn't this looking cute? I thought that this would be a nice way to continue jazzing it up. Sweet Summertime. That's actually the name of this collaboration I'm doing with some of my friends. I'll talk a little bit more about them later on, but here it is, my Sweet Summertime tray. Now you can leave it just like this, or you could put a charger underneath it, which is what I did right here. Oh, doesn't that look refreshing? Speaking of refreshing, w.flame asked me if I'd like to demonstrate this product to you. It's a countertop ice maker. You just want to fill it up to that line, or fill it, that's the max. I filled it just a little bit less and I used, you know, just the water that I use in my fridge. Here's a little basket and it'll make ice cubes for you. This was wonderful. I had some friends over. We had ice going all evening long. So all you do is pour the water in there. Now watch, the little tray thing's gonna go back and then it'll lift up and the water will go up there, and right behind there, it'll make the ice. It makes 9 ice cubes at a time. And the first batch came in about 6.5 minutes. It says in their instructions, 6 to 13 minutes. They are the neatest little ice cubes also. I love the texture of them. They have a little hole in the center. They were perfect. It normally retails for $120, but starting today on the 20th through the 26th, they're going to have this on sale for $69.99. I'm going to put a link down below. I was so excited when they asked me to share this with you. I think you'll love it just as much as I do. It's great for parties. It'd be great on the patio if you had it out of the sun and if it wasn't too hot out, and maybe for a little evening drink. We loved it. It was perfect, and it continues to fill. Once that basket gets full, if you take some out, it starts up another batch. If you keep it going for 24 hours, it'll make about 26 pounds of ice. And here it is. Great glass of lemonade. It was perfect. It doesn't melt too fast. I suggest it. I will continue to enjoy this. It fit right in with my lemon theme. Okay, let's get to DIY 2. I took this little wooden circle and painted it also in plaster. This one is from Walmart. It's about a 7-inch circle. Now I'm taking a bowl and I'm just marking here. I'm going to make at the bottom of this one a watermelon slice. Now I'm just putting some painter's tape across so that where I stopped with my plaster, I can start with my red. And this is Waverly Crimson. You can use any red you want. I also love the apple barrel paints. I believe I've told you before that I'm a Plaid ambassador and I really love all of their products. Crimson is one of my favorite. It is such a pigmented paint. It goes on so nicely. So I kind of tapped my brush kind of around the edge. Now I came in with this green. That one was Malachite. And that worked nicely. And then I came in with a little bit of this lighter green, which is called Scallion. So I kind of blended those together. And now I'm going to make some of my strawberry seeds. I like to use a paint pen for this. These are my Artistro Paint pens. I got those on Amazon. They'll be in my Amazon link on my Amazon store. Usually I just link a list of products in case you'd like to just click on it instead of looking through the store. So I just made some seeds around there. Just a little bit more control. You can make those seeds as big or as little as you want. I thought about making, one of the big wood rounds and making this a door hanger. But I decided that this would be cute as just a little desktop setter or a shelf setter. Now I'm going in with my Posca paint pen. I thought it was a perfect width for the white to do that. Oh, I just love it. Look how nice and crisp that was. I took my Cricut and cut out hello and then summer. And this is that font that I use time and time again. It's Rostila. You can find it on dafont.com. And just putting hello summer. I don't know about you, but I was ready for summertime after this winter. I think we say that every year. Now I'm just going to make a messy bow. So I just cut up some strips of a bunch of different ribbons that I thought would be pretty to accent this. It's rare that I make a messy bow, but I just took a chenille stem, a pipe cleaner, and kind of crisscrossed and went around and just threw the ribbons in there. There was no rhyme or reason. And you could also use a zip strip. And now I'll just twist this on the back. I should have twisted it tight and clipped it off before I tie my ribbon around here, but wasn't thinking. So I'm just going to put the green around there, but I realized there's a green right on top and it might look funny, so I pulled that one out before I finished tying this around there. All right, just finishing snipping that off. I'll give it a little bit of hot glue right here on top. And now I mentioned before taking apart a clothespin and making it your kickstands on the back of your signs. And someone asked me what I meant. And I said, I'll do that in an upcoming video. So here it is. I took this apart and I just put my tape that I pulled off in a straight line on the back. Excuse my head there. I apologize. And you just put the glue on there. And then just making sure when you set up your sign that it's sitting the way that you want it to. And then you can come back in once that's set and add just a little bit more support hot glue. But here it is. Isn't that cute? I have to say, I think this one turned out, like something you could grab at a store. Just, a cute little summer sign. You're going to have to let me know down below which one is your favorite today. I can't wait to hear. It's the 20th of the month again, so I got together with my friends and the theme is Sweet Summertime. Krista from Krista's Crafty Life is our host, and our co-host is Jackie from Jackie Burns Creations. So we all did summer fruit themes. So hit that playlist below and subscribe to all these wonderful, talented ladies. All right, let's get to DIY 3. I started out with plaster again, and I painted another wood round. So now I'm going to take my painter's tape and I'm going to go across the center. And I also took some of that maize paint, and you want to just make sure you press that tape down. And when you paint, don't paint into the tape, paint away from it, and you should be good to go. I also had extra paint on my brush, and waste not, want not. I painted up some beads. I even did a couple leaves because those fall DIYs are just around the corner. Okay, pulling up that painter's tape. God, that is always just so satisfying when you've got a nice crisp edge. So here I'm just making a loop, kind of doing some figure eights here to make this bow. And this bow got splashed on a couple pieces, I think, when I was doing some splattering of paint on another project, but that's okay. You won't see it. So lots of bow tutorials out there, but I kind of just twisted back and forth to make this bow and then put a zip strip around the center. Those lemons that you see there, I got at Hobby Lobby. And then those are also just some greenery. I want to say that I got that from Michael's in a big bundle of one of those craft boxes. Okay, I'm gonna now cover that center after I snip off the zip strip. I just folded over the ribbon a little bit. And I just did some dovetails on there. And that will go on the back to be the tails of it. There we are. I also just wrapped a piece around the center. And that'll be the bow. I thought it was kind of a neutral bow. What color of bow would you go with for, obviously this is going to be a lemon sign. But I've got, that greenery. I have the yellows. What would you do? I thought about possibly a green bow, but thought it might get lost with the greenery. But here I am. I'm just taking those tails and covering up where the little handle that comes on those wood rounds from the Crafter's Square at the Dollar Tree. Okay, just fluffed this out just a little bit. And now I'm just going to start tucking my greenery around the sides. How you do this, of course, is going to be your own preference. Some of the leaves I did in twos, others I snipped apart. But I think these lemons are pretty. I know the Dollar Tree last year had some lemons. I saw some limes still this year, but I didn't see any lemons. But I believe in the long run, Hobby Lobby was cheaper and you get several different sizes. And then on my Cricut, I did Hello Summer for this one too. This one was actually a door hanger for my sister. We had a big family get together for some birthdays, and so she needed a nice cute summer sign. Actually made these DIYs a couple weeks apart, but I thought the saying still was nice. You could have one inside, one hanging on your door. If you do have this hanging on your door, you might want to just give that a clear coat spray before you put it up, because you do get those summer rains. And they do have some of the the sprays that are a matte, and they have a UV protectant in them. And it's just as simple as that. Oh, and there it is on her door. What do you think? Isn't that pretty? Okay, our final DIY is DIY 4. I took that dishwasher safe Mod Podge and I took a clear tray from the Dollar Tree and some of these watermelon napkins. And now I just want to kind of measure where it goes, and this oval kind of tapers. So you have to kind of finagle it a little bit, but I cut this off at about 3/4 of it. And again, I'll take off that extra layer. And now I just snipped around the edges, because as we go around the edges, it needs to, meet with that contour of this tray. So I did this on the outside. That way you could still put your watermelon or fruit or whatever. Use this as a little fruit tray. I just thought it would be pretty, and it almost looks like a watercolor underneath there. And just in case something dripped over the side, I used some more of that dishwasher safe Mod Podge. I also put another one of the clear trays just underneath this once I was done, to protect it even more. If you're enjoying this, I do hope you'll give me a thumbs up and you'll subscribe. Just continuing to attach this. Another reminder, don't forget to go to w.flame.com. Take a look at that ice machine while it's marked down to $69.99. I am an affiliate. They asked me if I would like to. I thought, of course, why not? So I love that ice machine. The fact that if I'm out of ice, I know there'll be more within, 6 minutes or so is what it took for me. So I share things with you that I enjoy. Okay, just continuing to move around the edge here. I'm also going to show you another way after this, but I wanted to make sure that I was able to show you this way. There's obviously several different ways you could do this. All right, so I just continued to put this on here. I flipped it around and did the other side and then just patched up in the center. And then I put it another tray right underneath it. I thought that might be the best way to go. It would protect it a little bit more. You could give it a little bit of E6000. Now here's one other way to do it I wanted to show you. If you take and trim off this edge, I think the edge actually works a little bit better. I wanted to give you a couple ways that I tried, and I was going to just redo it this way, but I took some of these trays to the party at my sister's and left the extras there on accident. So, all right. So if you take this, then you could just, finish it around the edge, and you can kind of pull it and taper it just a little bit more than you can when it has that center. So to start it, I put the Mod Podge, on the tray, and then going forward, I put it right on the napkin. Oh, well, maybe I put it all underneath this time. I guess you can go either way. I know often I will put it underneath. But I know the first time, there we go. The first time I did it, I just did it all on top. And then you can see where it starts to bevel or pull away just a little bit. Maybe the tray gets a little bit wider. So I stopped it there, and then I just picked up again from there. So just kind of showing you how I did it and what was working for me. And then I just trimmed it down to one of the wedges and started by applying that one. I think this would have been pretty too, with the lemon. They do have the round platters. Could have done, the lemon wedge that way or the watermelon slice that way, but here's what it looks like. I didn't totally finish this one because the other end was cracked of it. And there it is for the first one that I did totally finish. I do so thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to go to our w.flame website as well as going to that playlist. Oh, you will see so many great inspirations for summer. And here's a couple more that you might enjoy. Thanks again.